time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. Hello everyone. The other day I went into one of our local St. Vincent de Paul's. I visit this St. Vincent because they get 8-tracks in, and I've been looking for 8-tracks. So what I did was, I looked at the stereo equipment section first. I always do that. And it isn't like 20, 25 years ago when there was a lot of stereo equipment on the shelf. There was nothing as usual. So then I walked over to look at the 8-tracks, and again, nothing. So I was cold on both of those. But I thought I'd look at the vinyl albums as well. And when I walked over to the vinyl albums, there was 2 copies of the album Head East Live. And I thought that was kind of strange because usually they don't have anything in vinyl that's any good. I mean, if they do, it's gone right away. One of the copies was a promotional copy. The other was a store copy. So I thought, well, they must have some other stuff here because why would there just be these 2 Head East albums? So I dug through and I found all kinds of interesting vinyl, which I pulled out and I purchased. One of those albums that I purchased was this one here, Climax Blues Band. It's their second album here in the U.S., and it was simply called Climax Blues Band. It was released in 1970. It was also released in their home country, the U.K., but it was called A Lot of Bottle. So it had a different title and a totally different picture on the cover of the album. This has kind of a jazz drummer on the cover. As soon as I got home, of all the albums that I bought, this is the first one I played. I just had to hear this because I didn't own this as a teenager. I owned FM Live and Stamp Album, but I didn't own this particular album or any of their other albums because they had quite a number of albums out. When I listened to this, I was blown away because it's kind of a heavy blues hard rock album. And there's a lot of good guitar work on this album. And one of the tracks that totally blew me away was Seventh Son. It was the first track on the second side. So Seventh Son was written by Willie Dixon. The first person to actually record it was in 1955, and that was Willie Mabon. Mose Allison recorded it in 1959 and released it as a single, but probably the most famous version of that song was done by Johnny Rivers, released on his album Meanwhile Back at the Whiskey A Go-Go in 1965, and he also released it as a single. And I believe it got into the top 10. So I was really surprised to hear it by Climax Blues Band, and especially how they perform the song, because it's so different from the other versions that I've heard. And a lot of artists have recorded Seventh Son. Like I said, it was written by Willie Dixon as a blues song. Now, the Climax Blues Band was actually known as the Climax Chicago Blues Band, but they then changed their name. They were going to change it to the Chicago Blues Band, but they didn't want to get it confused with the band Chicago, so they decided to just take the Chicago out and call it the Climax Blues Band. This song has a surprise in it that I'm not going to tell you because that's going to take all the fun away from it. But I was going to do a bunch of shows with cowbells in it, where cowbell is a featured instrument in the song. Well, listen to this one and see if that would fit into the idea of a cowbell song. So here's the Climax Blues Band from the UK doing Willie Dixon's Seventh Son.
Everybody's talking about the seventh son in the whole riding world. There is only one, and I'm the one. Well, I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm
Okay, I can stop it right here a second. This beginning is great. I mean, I love this beginning. As soon as I put it on, it's like, wow, that is really different for the song Seventh Son. I mean, it's that bass, that driving bass in there, really deep bass guitar. You got the cowbell, you got a wood block in there, and that's about it. And then the lead vocalist, who's got a very deep voice, which fits really well with how that bass guitar is playing. And now they're bringing in kind of a spooky guitar sound as well. So it's kind of cool because it's just a real slow, silent, deep song so far, and I think that's what's wild about this version. Like I said, I've never heard the Seventh Son done this way before. Now that doesn't mean I've heard every version. There might be some others that are like this, but this was the first time I've heard it like this. So here we go. Let's keep on going with the Climax Blues Band doing Seventh Son.
I'm the one they call the Seventh Son. I can talk these words, they will sound so sweet. Gonna even make your little heart skip a beat. Heal the sick or raise the dead. I can make little girls talk out their head, 'cause I'm the one. Well, I'm the one. I'm the one, I'm the one they call the Seventh Son.
Okay, that was kicking. That was kicking. Like I said, when I played this the other day, when I brought that album home, and I put it on, and I put the second side on, and this came on. I didn't even look at the track listing, so I didn't know this song was on there. And I'm going, that's Seventh Son, but boy, that sounds really weird. It's a little different than what I remember the song sounding like. And then when they kind of switch over and get into this guitar jam, it was like, holy cow, that was fantastic. So we had like 2 minutes of the song with the vocals and that bass guitar and the wood block and the cowbell. And then we have another 4 minutes plus of jamming and with a great guitar solo. I mean, groups in my mind just don't do this anymore. And this was from 1970, as it shows on the screen here. This song was from 1970 when they recorded it, and this album was from 1970. Just great. I just was like, wow, I was just mesmerized. I just sat there and I listened, and it's like, that is fantastic. This is what I love about the rock of the late 60s and the early 70s. It was just so different, so experimental, and they just would take something like this and morph it into a good rock and roll song, which they did. They started out fairly bluesy, and then they got into this hard rock sound with the guitar at the end. Just fantastic. And on the back of the album, I'll just read this real quick. On the back of the album, it says, Colin Cooper sang, played sax, and harmonica. Now, there was brass in here, too, which I thought was really good. When they were really jamming on that song, the brass came in, and that just really lightened up that guitar solo. It's just like, because the brass was kind of like repeating the melody of the song, and the guitar was just jamming over the top of it. I thought that was great. Peter Haycock sang and played all the guitars. So it was Peter Haycock who did that great guitar solo in this song here. All guitars except bass guitar, which was played by Derek Holt, who also sang. Now, Derek Holt, I believe, had been one of the guitarists, but their bass player left, and then Derek Holt took over the bass guitar. Humpty Farmer was joined by Arthur Wood, and between them they played the keyboard instruments, and you could hear the keyboards were loud and clear in that guitar solo, which was also kind of cool. Like I said, they added so many instruments when they got into that guitar solo part, and that was kind of cool. And then George Ewart Newsom plays drums on this. So I thought that was kind of nice that they put on the back of the album who did what. So that's kind of neat. So that was Climax Blues Band doing a cover of the Willie Dixon song, Seventh Son. And like I said, it just amazed me. I put this on and it's like, this is fantastic. These are the types of things I like when I listen to albums that I've never heard before, and all of a sudden there's a standout track on there of something that I know, but never heard it like this before. And so when I heard the Seventh Son, it was like, this is pretty cool. I got to do a Driving with Todd reaction review of this song. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed Climax Blues Band doing a cover of Seventh Son with a great guitar break at the end of the song, or at least the last 4 minutes of the song, in fact. If you did, hit that like button. That's the old thumbs up button. If you have any comments about Chicago or Climax Blues Band doing Seventh Son, put in the comments below. That'd also be really appreciated. Now I'm going to take a link to this video, which wasn't much of a video, but what was great was the music that played on the video. So I'm going to take a link to this video, put it in my description below, so if you want to hear the song again, click on that link. It'll open up and play all the way through for you, and I won't be stopping it this time. I'm also going to put a link to the channel that uploaded this video into YouTube into my description below, so if you want to check out that channel, see if they have anything else that you may want to watch, click on that link. It will take you to the channel. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? Go below my video. I know you still have it open, and hit that subscribe button, and you'll be making me very happy. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. Like I said, I had never heard this album before. I put it on, and when this came on, it was like it blew me away, and I had to do a Driving with Todd just to share the song. And it put a big smile on my face. In fact, every time I've heard it now, it's put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping it put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.